Let's take a look at another type of verbal analogies. So these verbal analogies are going to include actions or function. And that really is just a fancy way to say job. So what its job is. Let's take a look at some. All right, look at this one. Airplane is to flies. So an airplane's action or function or job is to fly. And I can verbalize that. I can turn it into a sentence and I can say an airplane flies. So airplane is to flies as boat is to blank. Well, if we're looking at action or function or job, when we'll just say job, then we could say an airplane flies and a boat. What does a boat do? So show me with your fingers what you're thinking. Show me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, or a 3 for C. All right, I hope you're showing me a 2 for letter B, floats, because that's the correct answer. So an airplane flies and a boat floats. That is their jobs. Let's look at another one. All right, milk is to drink as bread is to blank. So think about how milk and drink relate. Think about how maybe you could even turn that into a sentence. So you could maybe say milk is something that you drink and bread is something that you blank. So show me what you're thinking. Show me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, or a 3 for C. All right, I hope you're showing a 1 for A because that's the correct answer. So milk is something that we drink and bread is something that we eat. Good job. All right, let's look at this one. Pencil is to writes. So think about how pencil and writes goes together. Think about how you could verbalize this and turn it into a sentence. So you might say, make it really simple, a pencil writes. Okay, we use a pencil to write. Writing is a pencil's job. All right, so pencil is to writes as crayon is to blank. So let's look at the answer choices. And show me what you're thinking. Show me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, or a 3 for C. Which word will correctly complete the analogy? So a pencil writes and a crayon. I hope you're showing a 3 for letter C, draws, because that's a correct answer. We're looking again at its job. A pencil writes and a crayon draws. And yes, you could use a pencil to draw. You could use a marker to draw. You could use paint to draw. Really, you could. But we're looking for the best answer in our answer choices here. And so the best answer is C, draws. Let's look at another. Water is to boils as ice is to blank. And this one's a little trickier. We're still looking at its function or its action or its job, but we have to think a little deeper this time. So let's think about how we could verbalize or turn water is to boils into a sentence. So I might say water, when we add heat to it, boils. And if I use that same sentence structure, ice, when we add heat to it, what does it do? So show me with your fingers the correct answer. Is it 1 for A, 2 for B, or 3 for C? So water is to boils. Water, when we add heat to it, boils. As ice is to blank. Ice, when we add heat to it, what does it do? I hope you're showing a 1 for A because melts is the correct answer. When you add heat to ice, it melts. All right, how about this one? Outfielder is to catches. And if you're not sure what an outfielder is, it's a player in a baseball game that plays out in the field in the grass area. All right, so remember, we're thinking about their job. So let's think about how we can turn outfielder is to catches into a sentence. So I could say an outfielder catches. Okay, because their job is to catch any balls that are hit to them. All right, so whatever I do at the beginning, I must also do at the end. So if an outfielder catches a batter, what is a batter's job? Show me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, or a 3 for C. All right, I hope you're showing a 3 for C, hits, because that's a correct answer. An outfielder catches and a batter hits. All right, let's do one more. Frog is to hop as fish is to blank. So think about how frog and hop relate. We're looking at its action, its function, its job. And think about how you can verbalize this. Turn frog is to hop into a sentence. So you might say, a frog hops. All right, and if we use that same sentence structure, then we would say a fish blank. So what does a fish do? What's a fish's job? So show me a 1 for A, a 2 for B, and a 3 for C. All right, I hope you're showing a 2 for B, swim, because if a frog hops, then a fish swims, and that makes swim the correct answer. So these verbal analogies were all about action or function or job.